Hey, Tanya Biglow here, and the word of the day is Gallivant. Gallivant means to go or travel to different places for pleasure. And now I'm sure that everyone loves a great opportunity to gallivant, right? You get a chance to go and live and have fun and do exactly what you want to do. But I want to pause and I want to talk about those areas that you're hurting and those places that you're struggling. There are places in your mind where you really want to go, like you're very excited about the opportunity. You want to go. You're looking forward to those places. Those places are your goals, like having a great relationship, starting a business, being married, whatever that is. They come from a place of pleasure mentally. You want to go there because of the feeling that you will have as a result of going there. But for most of us, we have not really hit the mark. We have not really gone where we want to go physically. And I assert that casually pressing towards the goals will never generate enough speed or momentum for you to really get where you need to go. Because, see, your actions must be three things: conscious, intentional, and powerful. So I want to ask you a question. What are you struggling to accomplish? Right? So we have to look at it. We can't just gallivant through life hoping, wishing, and praying that we're going to get where we want to go, because where we want to go requires something. It requires a few things, but what we're going to talk about today is growth. And what happens during this whole growth phase? There are a few things that actually happen when you're in the process of growing. Growing is uncomfortable. Have you ever seen a baby and they're just growing, they're having these growing pains and they're growing and stretching, or the teeth are coming in and it's just irritating and gnawing to the mouth? So you're uncomfortable during growth. There is pain during growth because you go from this little thing to this big thing. That is painful. When you're growing and you're trying to figure things out, you're unsure. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do because you're trying to figure things out. That's another one. During the growth season, you're trying to figure things out. And you're also, during the growth season, it's uneasy. You're just uncomfortable. You're unsettled because you just don't know what's going on. Now, if we're looking at like physical growth, right? There's a certain season for humans that we grow. So for females, we're growing in our body physically up until the age of 15 and 16. For men, on the other hand, they can grow all the way up until 18. But once you get to that stage, we're not growing. Like, we're not getting taller. We're not developing anymore physically. And I assert that for many of us, when we stop growing physically, we also chose to stop growing altogether. But if you really want to get where you say you want to go, there's some things that you have to overcome. I assert that there are many of you out there that are struggling to accomplish what you say you want in life. So here are a few steps that you can take in order to overcome the challenges that come with accomplishing what you say you want in life. So, number one, identify it, right? Identify what is stopping you in your growth. Two, you want to address it. Why is it this thing? Why is this thing? Why does this thing keep tripping me up? Number three, you want to confess it. You want to look at the areas in your life where you can mentally say, yep, these things are true. But then fourthly, you want to counter it. So the goal here is to look at things that actually acknowledge the parts that are not true. of what you're thinking that's stopping you from moving from where you are to where you want to be. Said differently, what do you just psychologically have wrong? You think that you are not enough, but you're able to come up with all these other places and areas where you are enough, right? Then fifthly, you want to engage with it. So now that you've identified what the problem is, you've identified why this problem is here, why it has taken root. Once you've confessed it, once you've countered it, now you want to engage with it. You want to make sure that you're working with those tools and you're working with that data to know that, hey, I am somebody. And not from a conceited position, but from a confident place, from a place of confidence. Just knowing you are who you are. And then you also want to make sure that you silence it. You want to silence whatever that thing is that's stopping you from moving from where you are to where you want to be. And how do you silence it? You're going to silence it with all that goodness and all that yumminess that you have uncovered when you countered it and when you begin to engage with it. And lastly, what you're going to do is seize it. After you've gone through the steps of understanding what it is, why it is, how it got there, what's true about it, what's not true about it, and you've worked on the things that are not true about it, now you could go ahead and go and get exactly what it is that you say you want. Listen, I hope this information has served you, and make sure you have a great rest of your day on purpose.